Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time for a little Star Wars, specifically Andor Season 2, Episode 6, What a Festive Evening. Friends, nothing to it but to do it. If you could do me a quick favor though and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, it greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for a little Andor. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider sticking with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time for Andor Season 2, Episode 6, What a Festive Evening. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! I like what they're doing with the beginnings here. The beginnings, the intros. Jesus, my first time watching a show, everybody, sorry. Trying to get my notes out. Clea is the... I swear to God they've mentioned her name and pronounced it like one time. His assistant, Luthen's assistant. Port Sarsgaard. Cassian's like, I'm getting out of this place. Look at this ship. Oh my God.
Hold on.
Love his ship. Which I don't ever think we got the name for, did we? So cool.
Tell me about the Gorman front. You weren't there very long.
Don't get involved.
That's your assessment, just like that?
They're reckless, yeah.
How do you know what I did?
We heard it didn't go very well.
Oh, you heard? Really?
You heard.
But they are impatient. They started too late. Now they're rushing.
Yep.
The Empire will care about it.
Exactly. In a place where they know nothing about fighting, they'll be crushed.
They're finally wanting to do something.
Don't be as reckless as them. He just wants the action.
A new front line against the Empire? A chance for that, that's a triumph. You're thinking small, you're thinking like a thief.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
Ooh.
If it goes up in flames?
It will burn. Very brightly.
For all to see. Awesome alien. So they're gonna send in Cinta. I'm assuming she's like the secondary main agent he has out there.
Visiting friends?
Why do you ask?
I'm curious by nature.
I have friends everywhere.
Ha 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 ha. I think that's probably how they knew a little bit of this stuff before it actually, Cassian had a chance to tell them. Well, she's still okay, relatively speaking.
The trip, okay?
Different.
Waste of time.
I was very pretty.
And you missed it.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah.
Was it dangerous?
Gorman? No.
Not yet.
He came after you left. Didn't realize how shabby the place looked.
What? He came?
He's not gonna like that. He knows what Luthen was doing.
He waits for me to leave. He comes when you're alone.
He was appraising you.
He's so pissed off, he's not gonna tell me. He has to know we're having this conversation. He doesn't do anything without a reason.
Yeah. He was seeing how bad she is. He was weighing and measuring her.
It's tough squeezing a whole year's worth of insincerity into 3 nights.
Amazing. I thought we were going to see one peel off and follow him.
It was a very
This is not smart.
You had to know she would tell me.
I thought it would be interesting if you didn't. But now you both disappointed me.
What?
Soft and Gorman, but willing to protect Bix at any cost.
We are not droids, Luthen.
We are not who we were when we started.
Jesus, dude.
You'll have to decide at what point it becomes too large a problem. Unless that's what you're doing right now.
Oh, no.
You don't put that shit on me. Yeah, you don't put that shit on me. Even like the door's cool, you know? These shots.
Morning, gentlemen. Just who I wanted to see. Save us all a meeting. Dr. Gorst. Success invites scrutiny. Our cousins in military intelligence have been salivating over our interrogation results. He's to be expanded into a program.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
The Navy's donated a facility here in Coruscant. I want the two of you to represent our interests in this. I'm counting on you to keep watch on these idiots.
An honor, sir.
Really? It's an assignment. Calibrate your enthusiasm.
Yes, sir.
Calibrate your enthusiasm.
Fill me in after you've read the brief. What?
Lonnie, do not give that information out. That was a plant.
Any trouble getting through? It was easy.
Oh boy.
Our friend in Gorman.
He's just reached out, sir. There's an ISB field agent on site. They believe a rebel attack is imminent.
Wow.
Cyril must never know what this is all really about.
I remind myself constantly, sir.
We need all the weapons we can get.
Dantem lidsam.
Morok vu le creux. Don't what?
Don't talk. Don't think. Do as you are told. If you can't manage that, you don't belong here.
I mean, it's true. We don't need anybody deciding mid-operation that they need to improvise.
Prep is useless if you can't follow orders. It's not so hard.
Show me.
They are so reckless.
You're all going to need to respect the chain of command. Cinta and I will have blasters. Nobody else. And I mean no. If that's not possible, this would be the time to say so.
You mean now?
Right now.
Right now. This drug, do they have it named? Like, is it... I think I'm crossing my fandoms here, but they're like the spice mines at Kessel. Is that just spice, or is that like drug spice? I think I might be dooning it up here a bit. I'm not sure.
It's flashy.
Just for fuck's sake, man. Our guy is in constant need of Cassian.
Mission is, I'm coming. Do you hear me?
Yeah, you can't let her out of your sight anymore, man. Man, Cassian has to be so worried about her.
We have the trigger. If it doesn't feel right, we'll walk away.
It shouldn't feel right now.
We're worth more to him separately than together.
Yep. Just like Cassian and Bix. In Luthen's eyes, you make each other weak, vulnerable. Each of you can be used against the other. Luthen is ruthless, but he's right. I am such a sucker for, like, love in the time of cholera shit. I mean, you know, this is not the time to fall in love, everybody, but it happens.
And honor.
Oh, wow.
For the peace and bounty of all beings. A galaxy of worlds. A galaxy assembled.
These shots, I mean, I am just blown away. Luthen's getting a lot of visitors, and that's not a good thing. I wonder if it's deliberate, but I mean, she looks so much like Carrie Fisher back in the day. For a long time, I speculated, when I first saw her, I thought, that's Leia. Oh my God, they recast Leia. Strong resemblance.
Bale, how are you?
I'm free. That was my last investiture party of the season.
Oh, don't tell me you've left poor Brer up there all alone.
They recast him. Is that Benjamin Bratt, right? Great shot. I'm really looking forward to this. It's a light day, everybody. We just need 200 extras. Call costuming. Tell them it's going to be an all-nighter. Wardrobe is just exhausted constantly.
We think it's lost empire.
My word, Luthen, and you wear it out?
I thought one of you thieves might make me an offer.
He's so good.
You haven't told Luthen about the reappraisals, have you?
No, I promised, didn't I?
Did he get the piece that's a forgery from Luthen? Or it sounds like it's somebody else got it, not Luthen. Awesome. I mean, they're just watching this whole thing. This is crazy. Cyril's doing a hell of a good job, man. The fact that they're trusting him with anti-espionage is crazy. I mean, why shouldn't they, though? I mean, but...
Are you out of your mind?
Do as I say, and everything will be fine.
She's really good.
The miracle man who helped secure this very special piece is actually here with us tonight. Director Krennic, Luthen Rail.
What a pleasure.
Ooh.
Sure you've met before.
Oh, yes, I've been a guest at her committee several occasions.
How pleasant to see you free of the witness stand.
What a festive evening this has become.
He said the thing.
It's my favorite object in the collection. I was heartbroken when we sold it. Luthen will tell them that's why I'm so keen on visiting with it.
This is really, really dangerous. I guess they take out what the anti-grav. It's almost like running over spikes on it with your tires.
They've done it. The carrier's down. Repeat, the carrier is down.
T-6.
Isn't it beautiful?
You're risking everything.
Move slightly to your left.
Tell me what you're doing.
Slightly to your left.
The Tinian Codex was forged 2,000 years ago on a planet where sight was considered a disability.
And what were you going to do if I wasn't here?
Anything I had to.
Ooh. Go, go, go. I mean, it's all futile anyway, but... Oh, we're going to follow it. Look at this camera shot. Awesome. How long are you going to stick with it? Take us all the way, boys. Nice. Love that.
There's a bit of a theme on this side of the gallery. There's a Carminian.
Jesus, I mean, this is very difficult to get out. Uh-oh.
Insurgencies have a long history.
Oh, Christ.
It's stuck.
That's what everybody wants to hear.
Shift right.
They're almost here. I'm walking away.
Do as I say.
Damn. Yeah, Lonnie, just you're in for a penny, in for a pound here, bud. You know, they only checked the first couple of those.
Vulnerable? What's the word for people who skin trespassers alive?
Is that what they did?
It was a very long time ago.
But they had their own code of conduct.
Wow.
Something like that. What a swell party this is.
Ben Mendelsohn is so good.
Hold it steady.
My God. I mean, did somebody spot weld that fucking thing in? Jesus.
Hi. Anya, Loris. Temik binor e balor. Kumbitem sans pizza mo binor skedador.
Oh, this is Mr.
Dan mo balor chak. Mo treno frechek.
Of course he brought a gun. Of course he brought a gun. And that's that.
Shots fired.
One shot.
Who got hit? Oh, no, it's her. It's obviously Cinta. Oh my God.
Call the response team. And come in loud. Make sure they know we're on the way.
What a clusterfuck. What an absolute...
Ça se monte. Loris, Loris, Loris. Be cleft here.
I'm assuming she's dead, right? I actually like this dude.
Isn't it lovely?
There'll be blood on the floor or some shit.
It's a book. You read by touch. Your hand. It's from a planet where blindness was considered a gift.
Oh, wow. People who'd be right at home.
Feel free to touch.
That one alien beside Mon looks like Howard the Duck with a short bill. Yeah, and you asked for her to be there. You were the only reason why she was there. Her words. Great shot.
Are you crying? Are you?
Well, I just shot your friend dead.
Don't you look away from me.
I'm sorry. I'm so
She was a warrior. She was everything that you have daydreamed about.
Mm.
She was a miracle.
Oh, man.
Some whining, simpering, foolish child. Don't you?
Wow.
What fun.
What fun.
We should have killed Krennic while we were up there.
That's the spirit.
That would have helped. Not a whole lot of Cassian in this one. Here's Gorst. Wow.
It will only feel like forever.
Yeah, you get to go in, buddy. But Lonnie should not have told them this information. They know exactly who gave it now. See you on the other side. Jesus.
Nobody's allowed in here.
You were saying? I'll see myself out then. Oh, shit. Scorched earth. See that smile? All right, everybody, we just finished the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Andor. What a festive evening. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished What a Festive Evening, the 6th episode of the 2nd season of Andor. Man, oh man, as far as culminating events for what I assume to be, this is we're going to have another year time jump starting with episode 7. Every 3 episodes, we jump another year. And again, we've kind of established that it's usually, presumably, the most momentous, action or mission or, the one with the most ramifications is the one they focus on for that particular 3-episode arc. Good stuff. Bix had a bit of a closure there, and I'm not sure if that necessarily frees her from everything. It can't hurt, but again, I mean, psychological damage, taking out the source is one thing, but, whether or not she stops seeing him or obviously doesn't stop suffering the effects of the trauma that she had. So, like I said, doesn't hurt that Gorst is now, blown up, presumably, in addition to being, you know, like mind wiped before that. The problem with all that is, and I knew it as soon as he pulled them aside and he was like, oh, yeah, you just had another meeting to talk to you, and came over and said, oh, you know, we're going to make him his own division. We're going to lose him. Of course, Lonnie must have fed that information to Luthen. Oh, shit. So Lonnie, buddy, go with God. They have absolutely sussed you out. They probably had, in all likelihood, they probably had questions about the two of those guys. Or, you know, I always forget that guy's name, the dude with the swept back hair, the older guy who's Dedra's boss. So many people. But, you know, again, that was definitely deliberate. Come here, outside of any type of organized meeting. I have something special to tell you. I need you guys to take point on this. You know, only you know about it. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then only you know. Then if it gets out and something happens to Gorst, one of you two said something. So it's all going to be, you know, Lonnie's in deep shit. He is in really, really deep shit. Because, you know, if they do any type of looking into his past and information that may have been compromised, they're going to come across something that he had access to. And I mean, Lonnie was on borrowed time since the jump. And I mean, Luthen basically confirmed that in season 1 when they had that big talk, you know, like he's a very valuable asset. He'll keep, you know, Lonnie in, you know, play as long as he can. But at the same time, you know, at some point, Lonnie's in one of the most vulnerable positions next to, probably more so than Mon, because Mon has a lot of political clout and a lot of more reason to be doing these certain things, and, you know, less scrutiny because she's so public, I would think. Interesting stuff. I'm curious as to why they pivoted away from Jimmy Smits for Organa, for Senator Bale. Senator Bale Organa, as my mind like butchers that entire name. But I mean, Benjamin Bratt is awesome and everything, and I guess maybe, I mean, I hate to say it, it happens to all of us though. Jimmy Smits might have just have aged out of it, like it was just too much, or maybe he didn't want to do it anymore. Maybe he didn't want to have like this be something that he always has to be pulled back into. You know, every couple years there's another time that he has to come forward. But didn't Jimmy Smits do the Obi-Wan series? Wasn't he, you know, we saw him, right? I think we did anyway. The whole, you know, move at the gala was very interesting to me because it seemed very realistic. You know, there was an argument between Clea and Luthen about whether or not to have that listening device in Skaldans, but, you know, Clea got her way and, you know, put that listening device in. But of course, just luck of the luck, you know, unluck of the luck comes forward, and one of these pieces that was sold to Skaldan ends up being, you know, a forgery, so then they have to go in and get it. I just think that's a very realistic premise for having to do something. You know, it's not some grand scheme or machination like, I think they're on to us. None of that. It's like we got to stop them from potentially being on to us, which is what the greatest spy movies are usually about. It's not necessarily we're found out, it's we need to stop them from finding out, you know, like that. They haven't made this step yet where we're compromised, but, you know, we've got to move the chess pieces and move the shielding and close the doors that lead to us being found out. And I think that's a really cool, you know, it's point and counterpoint with the whole espionage game, you know, making sure that the information and like the revelations of who's actually in play stay shadowy for as long as possible. Sort of like Lonnie. I mean, I think he's going to definitely be our next one that drops. The only thing that I question is if Lonnie was the one that fed him, Luthen, the information that eventually led to Gorst's being attacked, because, I mean, he called for Bix and Cassian, so obviously that was, you know, for that kill hit, or that assassination. We're going to have a year time jump. So even if they find out about Lonnie, they must not act on it for a year, or if they know about Lonnie, they start feeding Lonnie false information to try to kind of railroad and, you know, almost like a bigger, broader range of what they're doing at Gorman, you know, because, I mean, Dedra's always been after Luthen, always thinking they're right around the corner, and she thinks she's got a shot at it. She's not going to rush it. She's not going to, you know, she's not going to feel the nibble on the line and immediately pull and reel in the hook. She's going to wait till she knows she's got him. And to do that, it's almost like we saw a mirror of the Empire's playbook with the small little raid that was on Gorman. Like, okay, so they're going to let this happen. When they let this happen, they get, you know, a false sense of security. They get bolder. They get more relaxed. They get looser with their information and protocols. which would lead to a mistake. I mean, the argument is that, the rebels on Resistance on Gorman already made, too many mistakes, and you don't want to actually give them. I mean, they had a sloppy execution of this whole thing that ended up being successful. So if they kind of measure their success by this less effective, realistic way of making security, then they might think that they're better than what they are, which I'm sure is exactly what the Empire's plan is here. All of this, the entire time, Dedra was saying, you need insurgencies in place and insurgents in place that are going to make bad decisions, because the worse decisions that they make, the easier it will be to kind of clamp down on the entire planet. And so, everything's going to code there. And I think if that's the similar playbook that we're going to see on a much grander scale with somebody like Lonnie, let Lonnie think that he got away with it. Let Lonnie think that, he was able to feed information about Gorst and not have it, come back to bite him in the ass. Give it a year to percolate and then continue with maybe this false information until you're absolutely sure that one, Lonnie's your guy, and two, Lonnie's working for the guy that Dedra wanted all this time. And so if she thinks that she can get him, I think that what we'll do is we'll pick up, a year, however many months into the next year later, where she's just about ready to spring the trap. And Luthen's in deep shit anyway. He was never going to make it out of this. There's too many people that would know about him, too many people that could eventually, even his best kind of scrubbed trail would lead back somehow to him or an asset too close to him. And the only reason I say that is, to this point, Luthen has been very careful. He's been meticulous. He's been surgical. If somebody's not right, they're gone. We saw that with Tay. Hey, you have a number? Yeah, I got a number for you too, dude. It's called death. Took him out. Made sure that everything was that's Tay, right? Was his name? Yeah, Tay Kolma. Make sure that everything is, sealed off. Everybody's insulated. Everybody's protected. But we've seen like cracks in Luthen. He's getting reckless. He's getting quicker. We got to move faster. We're losing. They're getting away from us. All of these things are starting to kind of ramp up, and Luthen needs to be like Johnny on the spot and moving very fast. But at the same time, in that being rapid in his response is also reducing his effectiveness at being stealthy. And he's getting, there's no way to put it, but I don't think that, we're not seeing a total, Luthen hasn't been completely compromised, mentally. He hasn't, fallen into the paranoia, or the full paranoia that is so obviously born from this type of level of, embedded insurgency, embedded espionage, where you have to live it 24 hours a day. I think that every time we jump, there's going to be more cracks. There's going to be more sloppiness, and again, they're going to set him up. And Lonnie is the worm on the hook. And as soon as that information kind of catches hold and they've had a chain of successes, just like their playbook at Gorman, that's when they spring it. And I think that's when Luthen goes down. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for a little Andor. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider sticking with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from this year of Andor as we get ready to jump forward. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, friends, I say we say goodbye from not a place, but from an experience. And I say we have our fingers along the bowl that comes from the planet where being blind is considered a blessing, as our fingers trace the ridges of the raised markings and runes that are along those little divots and those little edges and ledges and crevices of that bowl. And the story that's being told might not be understood by us, but the story that we're watching in Andor certainly is. Until such time as we advance this story to the next chapter and next year, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.